Hello, this is Adele, and today we're going to play with some twisting poses. So, to give you a brief idea of what twist is about, is to really think of the spine as having three distinct sections. Okay, they are interconnected, but you can distinguish between the three. So, we have the cervical area, the neck area, the thorax area, the upper back area, and the lumbar area, the lower back area. So these three areas, they have distinct properties, and the lower back, it doesn't really twist much. So alarm bells should be ringing if you feel you're twisting a lot from the lower back and pain is coming in. Okay. The thorax area is the area that we want to twist more simply because we are often huddled over the desk and this area tends to be closed and range of movement is very restricted. So we can always tell ourselves that okay, we want to turn more from the chest and turn more from the thorax area. So this is the main area we're working with. The neck area is the most mobile. But that being said, sometimes we turn a lot with the neck thinking that we've twisted our body, but nothing much in the upper back area, the chest area has moved. Only the neck has moved. So just being more aware of that will be helpful. So with that being said, practice more awareness into your class, and twisting with a long spine, easy breath will always make the session more enjoyable for you. So we start off cross-legged sit and cross the other ankle in front, hands on your knees, roll back the shoulders a few times. Just to get a little lift in the chest and an ease in shoulders. Roll forward a few times. Soften the jaws. Relax the shoulders sitting tall. Take an inhale. Clearing breath out through the mouth. You can seal your lips and do nostril breathing from here. Just gentle inhale and exhale. Find a pace of breathing that will support your session today, and let us begin. Interlace your fingers, arms overhead. Feel a lift of the ribs away from pelvis, getting the spine long. Separate the hands, right hand press the ground next to you and side bend over to the right. Come back to center, left hand find the ground, reaching over to the left side. Feel a nice good stretch to the side body. Inhale, come back to center one more time. Right hand down, left arm reaching across. Drop the bottom shoulder. Come back to center, left hand to ground, right arm reaching over. Chin a little bit away from chest. Come back to center, both arms overhead. Get a nice good lift before you start to turn the chest over to right side. Keep the crown lifted and take your right hand behind you, left hand outer knee. The fingers help to prop you taller before you focus the chest twisting backwards. Come back to center, both arms overhead. Twist with the torso first, before your left hand gently lands and right hand outer knee. Nice lift through the spine and turn the chest. Relax the jaws. Come back to center, arms overhead, and exhale, arms to the side. Come onto hands and knees on all fours, undulation of the spine through cat-cow. Palms below shoulders, knees below hip, pointing the tail, sink the belly, stretch the chest out forward in cow pose. Tucking the tail, hunch the lower, the middle and upper back in cat pose. Point tail, sink belly, stretch chest out forward in cow. Tuck tail, hunch back, press the ground away in cat. With your breath, inhale cow pose. Exhale, rounding in cat. Point the toes, sit the buttocks back, extended child's pose. Spread the fingers, press down the inner hands, keep the arms extending straight next to your ears. Soften the face, facing down, breathe. Let the buttocks stretch back towards the heels, feeling the long stretch through the back. Come up onto hands and knees, all fours. Take the right arm out to the right side before you start to turn the chest towards the right. Then bend the left elbow if you need to. Thread the right hand through the left hand, left knee, threading the needle a few times. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, open across the right side. Exhale, thread the hand. One more time, inhale, open. Exhale, thread, and let us rest the right side shoulder, right side face on the ground. Push with the left palm and feel that this left shoulder pull back to turn the chest more towards the ceiling. Then stay here, adjust your hand placement if you need to. Staying for a few more breaths, feeling long spine as you twist the chest. Press down the left hand, open the right arm back to the sky. And take the right hand down to the ground, right foot step between your hands. Tuck the back toes and lift up into a short lunge. Interlace your fingers, hands at the back of the head, and point the elbows forward. Stabilize your stance before you round and bring your elbow towards the front knee. Inhale, lift upright. Maybe let the chest lift, the elbows slightly flare. Exhale, rounding your back, tipping your elbows towards the knee. Inhale, open up the heart, lightly stretching your belly and chest. And exhale, slowly round. Stay here, knee on top of the ankle, chin towards the chest. Release your hands to the ground, lift up the back leg into a high lunge. Give the weight to the legs as you stretch the spine out long forward. Release the back knee down to the ground. Walk your hands back, shift the right heel forward, half split. You can stay light on fingers or hands on blocks. Stretch the chest out. Tag the right butt to the left heel. Take one inhale, getting a long, lengthened spine. Left hand down to the ground. Right hand stable the hips. And turn the chest facing the right side to where you can. Feel free to add the right arm overhead. Spreading the arms like wings. The bottom hand is on fingers or hand on block. Release the right hand down. Step in the right foot and take both hands next to the front foot. Stay in the low lunge, stretching out the left front hip. Release the toes. You can prop your hands on the knees and come up a little bit taller, engaging your left butt area. Stay with hands supporting the knees. Lift up the heart. Breathe. And take the hands back to the ground. Slide your right knee back onto all fours. Inhale, cow pose. As you exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your butt and thighs back, downward facing dog. Come on tiptoes, both knees to ground. Second side, left arm out to the left side, turn the chest. Exhale, thread it through, right hand, right knee. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, threading through. Inhale to open. And exhale, thread through. You land the shoulder close to the ground on the block. Right hand press the ground, right shoulder pull back, turn the chest, facing out to the side. The toes are helping you to tuck. Breathe. Stay for a little while. Where can you soften in the jaws or the shoulders slightly? Press down the right hand, inhale, open the left arm to the sky. Take the left hand to the ground, left foot step forward into a short lunge, tucking the back toes. Lift up the torso, interlace your fingers, slightly push the head into your hands. So it cradle and there's a little pressure elongating the neck. Elbow point forward, round towards the front knee. Inhale, stretch the belly, stretch the chest out to the sky. Exhale, rounding forward, planting the left heel flat. Inhale, slowly stretch out the belly. And exhale, round. Keep the neck long, slide your hands to the ground, tuck your back toes, squeeze your back leg straight into a lunge. Stretch the spine, lengthen, relax the jaws. Drop the back knee softly down, walk the hands back, left heel dig forward, toes pull towards the face, half split. Light on fingers or hands on blocks, stretch the spine. Take your left hand to the hip, lightly turn the chest as you fold across the hip and turn to where you can. Keep the hand on the hip option if you like to, or reach the left arm to the sky, spreading out. Breathe. Neck is long. Hand return the hip. Take the hand down to the ground as your left foot step flat into a crescent lunge. Feel free to stay here. You can untuck your back toes. You can take the hands on the top knee to lift a little bit more, stretching your right hip as your left foot stands the ground. Breathe. Release your hands down. Slide the left knee back onto all fours. One more time, inhale to cow. And exhale, tuck toes, downward facing dog, thighs and buttocks back. Pedal up and down your heels a few rounds, stretching out gently. Bend the right knee, left thigh push back. Just take a few moments in downward dog. Then from there, left knee bend, right thigh pressing backwards. Squeeze the arms straight. Both knees bend. Can you elongate the spine by pressing the thighs and buttocks back, pelvis pull throughs. And squeeze the legs straight. Some of us may get the heels a little bit closer to ground. Heel raise slightly. Lift, give the right leg a little lift. So you can pull the knee forward and step the right foot between the hands. Left hand to stay. Right arm T-shape to the right side. Twist to face right side. Twisting lunge. Right hand to the ground. Press the ground. Slide back to a plank pose. Bend knees, thighs and buttocks back, downward facing dog. Raise the heels slightly, left leg give a little bit more lift. Bring the knee to chest and left foot step between the hands. Right hand to stay light on palms or fingers. Front knee on the top of the ankle. Open the left arm to the side, twisting. Turn the chest, swivel across the hip. Release the left hand down. Press the palms once again, slide back to plank pose. Take a little while, adjust your feet hip width, palm shoulder width as your shoulders stack over your wrists. Drop the knees, point back to toes. Lean your weight forward as you bend your elbows backwards, lower down onto the belly. Your hands are next to your ribs. Roll the shoulders and hug the elbows and point back the elbows. Stretch the chest out forward. Feel like the legs are being stretched back. Look down to the nose tip, a baby cobra. Stay here for a little bit. Then lower down the chest, tuck your toes under on all fours. You press back into downward facing dog with your thighs and buttocks back. Take a little while, breathe. Then heels up. Take your right foot step between your hands, right foot. Plant your back foot flat and walk both hands to the left side into a wide angle forward fold. Parallel your feet to the outer edges of the mat and take your hands on up. Slightly bend your knees and take your hands to the ground below the chest. Then from there, if you can, your legs are squeezing straight. Slide one hand to the hip and the other hand to the hip into a flat back, engaging your core with the spine long. Take it for a little while, feeling the back and the abs working in tandem to help each other to keep you nice and raised up here. Breathe. Release the hands directly below the chest, one next to each other. Your left hand can stay, your foot pressing, right hand on the hip. Now turn your chest facing the right side into a twist. Feel free to add the arms overhead. The more the chest turn, the arm will follow. Okay, so you're not forcing at the wrist or the elbows. Neck stays long. Release the right hand onto the ground. Left hand come on the hip. First, you elongate the spine before you turn the chest to the left side. And feel free to add the left arm up to the sky. Open across the chest. Take the left hand all the way down to the ground. Then turn the right toes back out forward. Walk the hands forward. You can frame the front foot and take your back foot step forward. Your feet about 1 or 2 feet width apart. You bend your knees and fold into your legs, giving your back a nice good stretch as you drape your belly upon your thighs. Stabilize your heels downwards. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing for a bit. Hands on opposite elbow. Hang out in the ragdoll position. And just getting the side body long by swaying your body from one side to the other. Come back to center. Let the belly, the weight of the upper body drip down some more. Then release the hands onto your hips. Bend your knees slightly and take yourself all the way, come up to standing. We're directly going into a sequence of flow. So going through like a sun salutation sequence. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Long spine in your mountain. Hands to heart, slight knee bend. Fold forward at the hip. Fingers to ground, right foot big lunge back. Front knee to a square, torso up. Shoulders stack over the pelvis. When you're ready, inhale, arms overhead, palms face front. Exhale, elbows pull down, cactus arms. Inhale, reach up to the sky. And exhale, cactus arms. Hands slide to the front of your chest, lean your weight forward, press the ground. Slide back, downward facing dog. Palm shoulder width, feet hip width. Raise your heels, come forward to plank pose. Take one more breath here. Drop the knees far away from hands, elbow crease face forward. Bend the elbows lower down to the ground. Stretch the belly and chest out into baby cobra. Or feel free to slide out a little bit more, stretching the belly out from the waist area. High cobra. Let the chest feel bright. Press the ground to help yourself all the way down. Tucking your toes under. Press back onto hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Thighs and buttocks go back. Heel raise. Right leg, give it a little bit more raise. Bring the knee to chest. Right foot step between the hands into a high lunge. Right arm open, twisting high lunge. Chest turns to the right side. Right hand to the ground. Left knee down. Right leg squeeze straight. Half split. Stretch out the chest long. Light on fingers. Breathe. Bend the front knee. Lunge. Back toes point back. Come up into crescent lunge with hands on knees, or add on the arms overhead and give a good nice puff out of the chest. You can continue to look forward. Release the hands to the ground. Lift up the back knee and step forward. Elongate the spine for a while. Before you exhale, fold into your legs. Maybe shifting the buttocks forward and getting both feet to bear more even weight. You can slightly bend to inhale, reach up into mountain. Then exhale, arms rest down by the side of the body. Second side. Inhale, raise arms overhead, mountain. Hands to heart, knee bend slightly. Exhale, forward fold. Fingers down, left lunge back. Front knee to a square, arms overhead, high lunge. Inhale, lift the wrists. Bend the elbows, cactus arms. Reach up the fingertips to the sky. One more time, cactus arm, shoulder pull away from the ears. And slide the hands to your heart center, lean forward. Press the ground, downward facing dog. As you spread the fingers, grip with the fingertips. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. Drive the heels back, feel the chest lifting away, jaws, neck soft. Drop the knees far away, elbows bend. Elbows point forward, bend the elbows backwards. And lower down. The legs lay long, the pelvis is heavy. Inhale, stretch up into your baby cobra just with the chest extending, or stretch out the belly with the chest. Lower down to use the ground for support. Tuck the toes under on hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Take a little while, feel the thighs go back, the pelvis go back. Breathe. Slight heel raise, left leg lift a little bit higher with level hips. Bend the knee, left foot step between the hands into lunge. Right hand to stay, left arm to left side, turn the chest. Feel like the spine is long along the thighs and you open the chest. Left hand to the ground, back knee down. Squeeze the front leg, straighten into half split. The heel is digging to the ground, the toes are pulling towards the face. Shoulders, remember to pull it back away from the ears. Then from there, rebend the front knee, step the foot flat. Walk the hands forward, put padding below the back knee if you need to. Untuck the back toes, firm your butt and firm your inner thighs as you slide the left hand on the knee, right hand on the knee to stay in crescent, or add on the arms overhead to lift up more. Breathe. Get a lift before you attempt any chest opening. Release the hands to the ground. Pick up the back thigh and back knee and step forward. Exhale to fold your body towards the legs. Even out the weight on both feet before you lean the buttock weight forward and maybe drape your body more onto your legs. Anchor down the feet over bent knee or straight legs. Inhale, hinge up all the way to standing mountain. Exhale, release the arms by the side of the body. Adding in chair pose. Inhale, arms overhead. Slight bend in your knees, a gentle chair, finding the curvature of the spine and slightly hugging the thighs inwards. Then from there, shift the body weight to the left side and slide the right foot back into a high lunge warrior. Front knee bend, take a time to adjust your stance before you turn your chest to your right side. Right palm on the back of your right thigh and left arm reaching out from the ribs. Back shoulder slightly ease away. Inhale, streamline the body facing forward. Lean forward, hands can be to the heart or outstretched. Press the hands down, step back to a plank pose. Take your time to adjust into this pose that you have been familiar with. You can drop the knees or stay on toes. Chest forward, elbows bend backwards, slowly lower down. Inhale, strike your cobra. Heart brighten, belly stretch. Lean your weight back, tuck your toes under. Downward facing dog, thighs and buttocks back. Heels raise. Give your right leg a bigger raise up with level hips. Bend the top knee heel to butt. And this time, crunch your right knee forward while breathing well. One more time, lift the right leg to the sky. And take the right foot step between the hands. Back foot, one small step to the left side, angle it about 60 degrees forward. Stretch the chest out and inhale, come up to warrior one. Chest squaring over to the right side. If you feel unbalanced, move the right foot a little bit more right side and lift up from the heart. Breathe. Feel a lift of the ribs away, then from there, slide your arms behind you, hold on to opposite elbow and feel like you cradle the ribs forward. Now add in a fold from the hip, like you're laying your body across the front thigh, stretching the chest out forward. Breathe. You'll feel a load onto the front thigh for sure. Can you let the back leg squeeze straight and tap the right butt to the left heel? Humble warrior variation. Release the hands to the ground. Pick up the back heel. You can step in one small step forward before you squeeze both legs straight into a modified pyramid pose. Fold over your thigh or give a good lift with inhale to stretch the chest out forward. Exhale, bend the front knee, your spine is still going forward. Left foot step front and fold into your leg, standing forward fold. Gentle knee bend. Inhale, come up through chair pose. Streamline the body like you're hugging a block between the thighs, come up to stand. And exhale, arms ease by the side. Second side, inhale, mountain. Gentle knee bend, let the knee track towards the toes and keep the chest lifted. Lean your weight to the right side, be confident as you strike back your left foot. Lift the heart, long spine, turn the chest, left hand onto the back of the left thigh. Lift up the right arm, lift up the right ribs, feel the side body get long. Inhale, turn back forward, hands to heart or overhead. Lean forward, press the ground in front. Spread the fingers once you're down and slide back to plank pose. Feel free to adjust the distance. Heels drive through, heart lifting away from the ground. Breathe. Drop the knees, chest forward, elbows bend lower down. Legs are lengthened back. Inhale, baby or high cobra. Go to the height that gives you good expression and good breathing. Lean back, tuck toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. Jaws neck soft, spread the fingers out long, inner hands are nicely planted. Heels up, left leg, give it a good lift, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, curl the knee forward to the chest. One more time, give it a good lift to your own ability. Then from there, left foot step between the hands. Move the right foot a little to the right side, angled about 60 degrees forward. Front knee square, hands on hips or directly arms overhead into warrior one. Lift up, turn the chest a little bit to the left side as you stable into both heels. Stretch the arms back, take your hands onto opposite elbow, hold them. Feel like you give a light cradle like a little back bend. Then exhale, you lean forward, press down your front big toe and lay your body long across the front thigh. Don't let your buttock jack out to the left side, clip it to the right side. Inner thigh working, stretch out the spine, gaze towards the nose, gaze towards the ground. Release your hands, take your hand to the ground. Lift the right heel, can step it in and forward a little bit into a modified pyramid pose. Blocks are really handy here. You can put 2 blocks below the hands. Firm the left thigh, stretch out through the spine, lengthen. Now go ahead and bend the left knee, step the right foot forward, and exhale, go into a forward fold. By now, some of us will feel a little bit more freedom across the lower back, across the back of the legs into a forward fold. Gentle knee bend. This is where you can really see the knee pointing to the second, third toe. Then you can take your arms overhead chair, streamline the body, come up to stand, and exhale, take the arms by the side of the body. Then that's here. Okay, let's take a block and or a towel roll and place it in between your thighs. If you have neither of those, okay, although I recommend you to invest, okay, you can just hug your thighs. Okay, squeeze the block between your thighs, and then you take your hands on your hips. So a gentle, a neutral spinal curve, then you bend your knees like you're going to chair pose, which we are. Okay, so you sit into an invisible chair, hands just cup it around the knees just to guide the knees pointing forward. So now I just lightly squeeze the block. And I'm squeezing quite nicely that the block is not falling through, and I'm still able to speak to you, which means my breath is flowing pretty well. Otherwise, for your own gauge, you're able to swallow, you're able to breathe well. Then press the legs out straight. We're going to add on hands to heart. Can you go to lift up? Feel a lift in the spine. Let's take the arms out to the side. It's almost like a warrior, two arms. Then from there, we turn, okay, I may not have enough space. We turn, hugging the block through the midline. We turn the chest, rotating towards the right side. You hug the block to stabilize you as you stand tall and lifted. Shoulder draw away from the ears. Then you untwist. And then from there, you turn your chest over to the left side. Both arms like airplane wing. Imagine a plumb line from the crown, chest, pelvis, all the way down to the feet. Then inhale, come back to center, arms to sky, and slide your hands to your heart center. Then keeping the palms to heart, lifting the heart towards the thumb tip, start to bend your knees. If you need a visual guide, you look down. Okay, hug the block and go into a gentle chair sit. Okay, you can use your hands to go around the knees if you need to, or just keep the hands to heart. Okay, then from there, tap the right elbow either on the block or onto the outer left knee. Squeeze the block, let the chest revolve. Come back to center, squeeze the block and take your left hand outer right knee, twisting chair. Come back to center, squeeze the block and take your right elbow against the outer left knee. Doesn't matter that the right knee is coming forward a little bit. You just want to firm the energy of the inner thigh. Come back to center one more time. Tap the left elbow against the outer right knee or thigh. Come back to center. Then you fold forward towards the leg, standing forward fold. Some of you may be asking me, okay, or asking in your head, why am I allowing one knee to go forward a little bit? It's natural. So I know some cues that we have learned is we don't let one knee go beyond the other. That's very strict restriction, and for some of us, no problems with that. We have no issues with just getting the knee in a line. Okay, but for some of us, letting one knee go a little bit more forward actually prevents us from jamming up into the low back, which I mentioned, and the sacral area, which I mentioned, not meant for twisting. Okay, then from there, gentle knee bend, take yourself all the way up. Then we're going down a little bit, okay? So now your legs have the memory of the block, so even if you take it off, you might feel that sensation. So you can put the block to one side and come down 1/3 of the mat. Okay, so hug the invisible block between your thighs, lift up and slide your hands to heart center. Okay, it might be easier for some of us to squeeze the thighs towards the midline. Okay, if not, you just have the memory of the thighs. Gentle knee bend. Okay, then from there, sit into the pose a little bit more, hugging the invisible block or hugging your thighs to each other. Then take the right elbow, tap against the outer left knee and twist. Let the palm come towards the center of your chest. Squeeze the thighs, squeeze the invisible block, breathing. Come back to center. Then from there, reach your arms forward. You may raise your heels whenever you need to as you slowly plant down your butt into a sit. Then round your back, reaching your arms in line with shoulders. Lean your weight backwards as you float your heels in line with your knees into a boat pose. Shoulders draw down away from the ears. You can drop your heel a little bit more if you feel too much tension. Then take the arms over to the left side into a twisting boat pose. Breathe. You can crunch the knee towards the forearm. Untwist. Cross your ankles. Press the hands to the ground onto all fours. Then exhale. Press the thighs and buttocks back up into a downward facing dog. Slight heel raise. Take the left leg up to the sky. Left leg. Bend the left knee and crunch the left knee forward. Step the left foot between the hands. Back heel, make sure you spread the toes and wedge it towards the pinky toe side. Stretch the chest out. Then from there, inhale, come up into high lunge warrior. Left hand, find the top of your left thigh. Feel like you stabilize your sit. And then turn your chest to the left side. Reach out on the left diagonal. Then from there, you hook the upper arm against the outer left knee. You slide the hand to the chest. The left hand stabilize the thigh so you can wedge the right upper arm against the outer left knee to stabilize. One hand on top of the other, twisting in your high lunge. Top shoulder pull away and let the chest revolve as you steady your stance. Breathe. I know it's quite a long stay. Then from there, arm twist. Hands frame the front foot. Back heel lift as you squeeze the front leg straight into modified pyramid pose. Inhale, get the spine long, breathing in. Take the left thumb, dig it into the hip crease and feel like you pull the left butt backwards, getting the left side waist long. You find a little bit more freedom in you with the right side body getting long. Turn the chest towards the right side. Just staying here into a version of your revolved triangle. Untwist, bend the front knee, hand down, right foot step forward, and exhale, fold into your leg standing forward fold. Plant the feet, inhale, rise through mountain, over bend knees or straight legs. Exhale, arms release by the side. Take your stance back 1/3 down the mat. Squeeze the invisible block or squeeze your thighs to give you that feedback. Slide your hands to heart. Lift your heart towards your tongue tip. Bend your knees, guiding the knee forward. Squeeze your thighs, gentle chair pose. Sit in deeper if you're feeling strong. Then from there, exhale. Squeeze the thigh and take your left elbow against the outer right thigh. Palms to the center of your chest, twisting chair. Top shoulder pull away. You hug your thighs. You slide the hands towards the waistline and using your oblique strength to help you to stay. Untwist. Arms stretch out in line with the shoulders. Slowly sit your buttocks to the ground. Whenever you need to, your heels raise. Round your back. Shift your feet forward and come up into a boat pose. Lower back rounding. You can look towards the navel as you take both arms over to the right side. As though your hands is holding a block. Breathing, squeezing a thigh. Take the knee towards the forearm. Exhale, untwist. Cross the ankles, plant the hand. Or force to plank pose and exhale, downward facing dog with your buttocks back up. Give your arms a big squeeze next to your ears, breathing. Heels raise your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, crunch the knee forward. Take the right foot step between the hands. Sometimes I move the left foot to the left side, so I feel a little bit more stable in my stance. Then lift the torso up, high lunge warrior, arms overhead. Right hand stable the thigh. I use it to improve the hip crease and to stable my right knee on top of my ankle. Turn the chest towards the bent knee side. Reach out to the right diagonal. Hook the upper arm against the outer thigh. So you can let the right knee fall into the left side a little bit so you can hook a little deeper. And after that, you return the pressure of the outer knee towards the upper arm. Then you turn the chest, lengthen. Left hand to center of your heart. Right palm on top, twisting high lunge. Breathing, staying for a little while. Ease your jaw, swallow saliva. Exhale through the mouth if you require. Then from there, exhale, untwist. Frame the front foot. Back foot can scoot in. You can use 2 blocks. And then modified pyramid pose, stretching out long with the torso. Left hand on fingers, on blocks, on a small stool if you need to. Right thumb Dig into the right hip crease and feel like you pulled back the right hip towards the left heel. Then you will pull so much that you feel that, oh, I feel that my spine has gotten longer a little bit. You can revolve the chest, top shoulder pulls away, breathing. Twisting. Exhale, arm twist. Bend the front knee, take the hand to the ground. Step in. And forward fold into your leg. Standing forward fold. Firm the thighs. Lift the thighs and buttocks backwards. Fold into your legs. Over bend knees or straight legs. Inhale, come up through mountain. And exhale, slide your arms by the side of the body. Take a little while, just breathing, finding back your breath after all those twisting poses. Then from here, we feel a little bit more ready. Our feet is still tracking forward. This is a good time to use the block. So maybe take a block, the tall side, okay, to the right side. So your feet about 2 feet width apart is nice. Okay, then step the right foot a big step back. 1 meter or so, you can 1 meter, 1.5 meter or so, okay, depending on height. Something that you feel steady and you can hug the thighs to the midline. Not all of our ankles are flexible enough, so some of us may angle it out a little bit. But the intent is to point it more forward. Use your hands on the hips and then use your hands to squeeze the hips together and feel a lift through the belly and the chest. Then you slightly bend the front knee so you can find the hip crease and then you fold into a flat back. This is a lot challenging for those of us with tight hamstrings already. So you can stay here and keep stretching out the spine. But with the block, it makes it so much easier for us to explore more poses. Take the right hand onto the block, onto the short end, onto the tall end, as you need to, and get long with the torso. Bottom shoulder draws away from the ears. Okay, pull back the left hip crease. Then once your spine long, you see, okay, if it's able for you to turn the chest towards the left side. Revolve triangle. Okay, you press down the right hand, you turn the chest. Maybe at some time, okay, you either increase the height of the block if you need to. You turn the chest and pull, and you take the left arm up to the sky into revolve triangle. Feel the long spine, feel the revolved chest, and take the chin away. You can turn your eye gaze towards the top arm. Breathe. Bottom shoulder slide away from the ears. Exhale, turn the chest. Turn the gaze down as your left hand find the hip. Bend the front knee. You can press the right hand, left hand can guide the knee and step forward and shift the block over to the left side and slowly come up to stand. Streamline the body, lift up the chest. You take the left foot, slide back. Left ankle, my ankle is quite flexible. The heel can go down. You can put a padding below. You can just angle the foot out a little bit. Make sure the stance is stable, however wide your feet is. And take your hands on the hips. Feel like you clip in and stretch the belly and chest out as though you're doing cobra. Good. Then from there, you can gentle knee bend. So you find the hip crease that you fold from into a flat back long spine. As I mentioned right on at the start of the class, this flat back spine, okay, is a combination of back strength and abdominal strength, okay, to hold you in this mid-knee mark. Left hand find the block, short end, medium length or high. High might be good for you to really lengthen out. Breathe. Okay, pull the right hip back with your thumb, with your index, with your finger rather, and stretch out through the spine. With a long spine, let the hips swivel a little bit to the left side as your chest turns. Okay, I'm not flattening my back, I'm not squaring my hips. Why? As I mentioned, okay, to prevent jamming up in the SI joint for some of us. Okay, so you let the hips swivel, it's natural, and that is where the chest turns. Okay, the lower back not supposed to turn, let the hips swivel. Then once your chest turns, feel free to add on the arm overhead. Bottom hand, you can feel free to get lighter so you feel more chest expansion across the heart. Breathing, firm the right thigh straight. Exhale from there, take the hand on the hip, arm twist. Then this time, okay, you keep the block there and step in. Release the block to one side, take the hands to the ground and step back all the way. Come on tiptoes, knees to ground, all fours. Take a brief moment in all fours position. Then whether you choose to stay here, that's option one. Just remember to keep the neck long, shoulders away from ears, or use a downward dog to bring yourself into a more symmetrical shape. Squeeze arms straight, press thighs back, breathing well. Ease out. Come on tiptoes, knees onto the ground, toes back. Sit the buttocks back, extended child's pose. Take the arms by the side of the body and just rest the forehead close to ground as you huddle yourself. Upper back rounding, jaws releasing. Let the back gently stretch out. Let the belly release away the tension. Slowly roll yourself into a sit. Then from there, you can do a butterfly pose, that's option one. Or you can take a squat. Okay, just finding a little freedom. Use a block for your squat if you like to. So you can come into a squat, a wide squat. Some of our heels, if they are up, okay, you can put towel below, or you can feel free to put a block below. Okay, so you can sit in a squat, and maybe it's the lowest height, maybe it's the highest height. See if you can let the chest and spine grow long. Then from there, you might be here, just allowing the thighs to open after all that hugging inwards. Or you can take the arms forward. And just from here, just reach the arms to the sky. See how it brings you a little bit more lift. Take the palms face one another. Bring the palms together. Bring the forearms together. Squeeze the forearms in. Take the hands away from the face. And slowly open across the chest. One more time, squeeze the forearms. You can let the chin come towards the chest. This time, look forward, arms outstretched. Take the right hand over the left hand. Your wrist is crossed. You turn the palm facing inwards. Interlace your fingers. Draw the wrists, the fingers in, and then gently rotate it out forward. You keep the arm at chest level, just to create a little bit more freedom in the neck. If you need to, by now, you feel that the squat is not working, you just open up into a butterfly pose. Release the fist in and rotate out. Turn the palm facing in, left hand over right hand this time. Palms turn inwards to face one another. Interlace your fingers, draw in the wrist, and squeeze your arms straighten to where you can. Okay, don't hyperextend the elbow, just keep it softly straight. Breathe. If you need to, you can come out of this pose. You can come into a cross-legged sit if you prefer. The feet more forward might also be more stable. Rotate the wrist in, undo the hands, and then from there, just open and close your fingers a few times. Just ease it out. Rotate the wrist and counter direction. Good. Then from there, scoop the knees to one side. Come off the block, put it to one side, and stretch the legs out forward. Just a more shorter session today. Okay. Bring the feet forward. Bring the forearms to help yourself down to the ground, lying on your back. So we'll close off the session with a very health-creating pose into your bridge pose. Arms lay beside the body. Back of the head is pressing upon the ground. You eye gaze your knees about hip width or shoulder width apart. Tuck your tail, lift the buttocks to a height that works for you. And then before you stretch the hip forward to the direction of the knees. Neck is long. Feel free to roll the upper arms underneath the body, adding a shoulder stretch below your bridge pose. A gentle hug to the inner thighs. You feel that the lower back is compromised. Stand your feet, the inner side of the feet press firm into the big toe mount. Then from there, just take a few more breaths. Ease in your posture is what we aspire to. Slowly drop your buttocks towards the feet. Undo the feet from under, arms lay out like a V shape. Take a few moments. Allow your heart to feel open, the chest to feel open after twisting poses. Some of them might feel a little bit more close in for some of us. Bend the knees, we free out the hips, and take the hands at the back of your knees. You can use your calf to clamp in. Use the hands to pull in the thighs a little bit closer to the lower belly. Okay, so just like an inverted child's pose. Inhale and exhale, huddle yourself into a ball shape. Relax the tongue. Lower the head down. Lower the foot down one at a time as you release the hands and stretch the legs out forward. The last pose is Shavasana. Let your legs lay long. Scan down the body. Notice if any area you're still carrying residual tension. Take an inhale through your nose, clearing breath out through your mouth. One more time, inhale, and clearing breath out. Release yourself into a lying down for a little while. A very brief Shavasana for this shorter session today. We'll end off today's session with a breathing practice. So feel free to lie like this, or you can always rebend your knees. Either way, you take both hands on the lower belly, elbows relax down to the ground. We take a clearing breath out through the mouth before we start with a 6 breath inhale, coupled with a 6 breath exhale. So it is actually a breath practice to help us to elongate both the inhale and exhale. That being said, it's a practice. If you feel that 6 counts is too challenging for you, go with 4 counts, go with 5 counts, until you gradually build up into a 6 counts practice. So I'll guide for about 2 to 3 rounds before I let you explore a few more rounds on your own. So from here, a clearing breath first, inhale, clearing breath out. Now inhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale to 6. Exhale to 6. Continue on your own pace for a few more rounds. As many rounds as you like to. And after that, you might find it really fruitful to go into a meditation practice or continue with your day or your evening ahead. I'll leave you to that. Thank you.